What the?
Yeah, the absolute versus subjective, or objective versus subjective. So I guess first you have to argue what these words mean. If I say absolute truth, well, that's sort of, everybody can get that. And that's sort of what the argument's about. But there's a way of getting to an absolute truth. I mean, there's a certainty to the argument that the absolute truth would be the widest context, the complete context truth. I mean, a truth that's been verified or defined from some absolute point of view, where you know every consequence, or where you've concluded, or you have enough evidence to draw a conclusion. It's kind of like beyond a reasonable doubt as a standard, but it's, and how do you get to beyond a reasonable doubt? It's because you eliminate any kind of something you've missed in terms of a possible scenario that would create doubt. So it's sort of like eliminating anything you've overlooked. You've been complete, and are complete enough to draw this decisive conclusion. And I guess I would argue that the only reason why this is important is because I think human beings really do have to do this. I mean, they can't, they do have to establish the truth. You can't, it's very hard to exist in your life without having a truth to live by. And you can't just do it for the sake of that reason, obviously. I mean, you can't just make it up because you need a truth. It's, it's got to have integrity too. But I mean, it's sort of like a practical thing. We've got to establish reality. Because there's no behavior without that established truth. So I guess one could argue that what we're seeking, at least what I'm seeking as a philosopher, is establishing a truth, a definition of reality, that is better than any other possible definition that we've come up with so far. That is more evidence, more solid logically, more, it's better. I don't know, by those kind of standards than any other possibility, and that's what we should basically invest in collectively. And that's where it becomes this absolute thing, is that I guess I would sort of argue that we have enough evidence to convict, and it's sort of irresponsible for us not to. I mean, if the guy is guilty as hell, you don't let him off because you come up with some bullshit that says, well, he could be a Martian, and maybe it's part of the Martian initiative, and it's their, and they're benevolent, and we should acquiesce to their judgment. Some kind of bizarre scenario that says, okay, now we're not going to convict him of the crime because we've got this extenuating circumstance that allows us to discount what is plainly in front of our face and excuse ourselves from having to make a commitment to a truth. I hope you got that. But anyway, so yeah, I'm arguing that we have enough evidence to convict on a lot of subjects, especially the God subject, but a lot of subjects. We've got the evidence to convict, and we're being irresponsible if we don't do it. We don't just say it plainly. That game is over. God is now in jail as an idea. It's out of, it can't do the public any harm anymore, or our brain any harm. And let's deal with our fucking reality. Let's deal with the world we live in. The actual world, not the phantasmagorical bullshit, let's make up a fable to live by shit. So back to subjective versus objective. I mean, the subjectivist would say, well, if you feel like there's a God, then there's a God. Or if you feel like you're Napoleon, then you're Napoleon. I mean, it's just such crap. It's not about what you feel. It's not about what you intuit. It's about what you can create an argument to defend. And until you create the argument, the rational logic that demonstrates that conviction is not responsible, that we can't understand our reality as being this, what I'm going to describe as plainly obvious, if you're going to come up with an ulterior theory, it's got to be based on something logical. It can't be based on this bullshit that my foot tells me so. That's crap. So anyway, got to run now. Catch you on the return trip. Got to tie my shoe. Well, actually, it's this Velcro crap, and the shoes are too big because they're not my shoes. And sorry, you can't see that. And but whatever. I got another pair of used shoes coming. Yeah. That's how I play the game. Used. Anyway, till next time. Like some used women. But anyway, till next time. Yeah, till next time, later. I mean, instantaneously to you. Horse shit. Anyway, yeah, I've got to start running now.